There's people knocking on my window, waiting for some crack. Even if I did, I would smoke it all. Got these pictures on my wall, and it reminds me that I'm not that gay. I'm not that gay. What's up, dude? What's up, Ray? Alright, what's up, big boy? What happened? It's okay. What's going on? How's the show going? Good. I was just reminiscing about my good. I was just talking about the 80 hours. What? You want to remember? Good. Back. I know you were an artist. I have to numbers. I saw you outside. I was standing with your brother. I could have said what's up inside your t-shirt. He's a little brother. We're standing down the road. I'm gonna bloody right nose. I ain't that bad though. I just like me like. Remember when Nick said grade? He said he liked to his sister. Yeah, me too. Get right, Ray. It's me. Inside. What happened? Dear Dad, boy, I'm too cool to run my public access bands. This will be the last letter I ever sent your ass, man. In 2 years, you haven't said a word. I don't deserve it. I'm driving right out there, good morning, I'm making. I'm sick of you, dog. You know that song by Groove Explore? Shut up! You heard that? You got me so pissed off, I like my homie's mom on the trunk. I don't know how I'm supposed to set this up. I took all your pictures off the wall and oh no.
Dear Deester, I've been trying to write back to you after I got your letter, but the way things are going, things ain't getting no better. The other day, I found out that I was gonna sign your brother Louis' t-shirt, but the way things are going, it seems it ain't gonna be like that. The other day, I heard a story about how some dude tried to kill your chick, yo. But the way things are going, come to think of it, it was you trying to kill the chick.
Patient manual race, lonesome out of place, touching I am near, pacing I can't hear, talking I am lost, words are just too much. Anticipation might kill you. No religion's a virtue. Tool made out of clay. They're meant to rain. Mountains much too tall. Water just too hot. Boots is way too tight. Flag is way too dark. Ocean is too blue. Passion is untrue. Anticipation might kill you. No religion's a virtue. You're made out of clay. They're meant to rain. Open fields are empty. I can't wait. 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 Spirit surrendered to me. Didn't sing a song. Watching me with hateful eyes. Shadows denied. Runner's touch. Holding hands in the past. A love that never lasts. A love that never lasts. Please chant me on your race. Lonesome out of place. Please chant me on your race. Lonesome out of place.
People, here we are once again, the Call Me Crazy Show, episode 56. First thing first is 5 days before Star Wars Episode 2, and get to prove it to you people out there, us true Star Wars fans. Us true Star Wars fans. Bam! Advance tickets for Episode 2. The only reason it's a special Star Wars edition of Call Me Crazy is because Episode 2 is coming out next week. next Wednesday. We have 4 days now, people. 4 days to episode 2. And I'm excited and I am very happy. Can you believe it? And Lane Stanley is dead. Damn. But before we go into more tidbits and factoids about the news, I want to be able to talk about some crazy, cool stuff. But here you go. For you true Star Wars fans out there, and I know there's a lot of them out there, Advance Tickets Episode 2. I had the first showing. This is one of the first showing, but I also had the tickets for the first showing Alcon. So I'll be at the Alcon May 16th at 9:30 in the morning, catching the first screening of Episode 2 at the Alcon. So maybe I'll meet you there. Come on down. And while we're still talking about Star Wars, I want to be able to show some other cool stuff. Here we go. We got a female Tusken Raider and a baby Tusken Raider. Bam! It don't get any better than this. Episode 2. And then I know people, I'm going off on the toys, but Episode 2, I'm sorry. But check this out, a new Jedi Warrior. She's female, even cooler. And then we have the prequel soldier of the Stormtrooper, called the Clone Trooper. Attack of the Clone, and these guys are called Clone Trooper. Ain't that cool? Look at that shit. Oops. And then we have another cool figure. She's a bounty hunter. We'll get to hear about her after we see episode 2 next Wednesday. But we have the toys, we have everything. And here's the coolest part. It's an R2-D2 figure from episode 2 that lights up. So there you have it, special episode 2, Call Me Crazy. And it's hard to believe 25 years ago, we saw episode 4, A New Hope Star Wars. And when I saw it, people, I saw it at a place called Tucson 5. And it was one of the original drive-ins that existed in the 70s in the Tucson area. And it now sits at where Century Park on Grant sits at. But I saw Star Wars there at the drive-in in 1977. And I was almost 5 years old, and it blew my mind. And here I am 25 years later, and we're gonna go see episode 2, motherfucker! Can you believe it? I just saw Spider-Man a couple days ago, and I've been waiting 16 years for that movie, just like Marty has too. But here we are, waiting 25 years to find out what the questions are all about in episode 2. Hallelujah, and I'm sorry, Scooby-Doo and Men in Black and 2 is coming out this summer and Spider-Man, but so far for me, episode 2 is the best movie of the year. Then The Two Towers by Peter Jackson afterward. Alrighty, that's enough about that. Lane Staley, Alice in Chains, who we are, with the 1995 Alice in Chains self-titled major label album. Can you believe it? I just found out today there was a coroner report about Lane Stanley autopsy saying that it was a mixture of cocaine and heroin. So, in other words, Lane Stanley was doing a speedball, aka Belushi, and we all know why Belushis are called Belushis, because that's what a speedball is called. When you shoot up cocaine and heroin, and I know people who done it, but you have to do it, so be it. I'm not telling you to do it, but whatever it is that gets your rocks off, I don't run your life. You only run your life, and I shouldn't even be talking about drug abuse because everybody has their own form of mainstream drug abuse. But anyways, episode 66, we're going to talk about the Catholic priest scandals rocking the communities of America. And it's hard to believe now that there's hundreds of Catholic priests who are coming forward saying, yes, it's true, I did abuse boys, blah, blah. And the Catholic Church is saying it's a homosexual activity. But all in all, there's also girls involved, and that doesn't define the term homosexuality when there's a priest abusing teenager girls and getting them pregnant and paying for their abortion. It's not a homosexual issue. What it is a child abuse issue. And I just found out today that the bishop, or the cardinal, the Catholic cardinal of New York, 5 years ago, knew about a priest who was allegedly abusing little boys. He found out about the allegation, the cardinal, and said, you know what, even though I found out that there might be rumors about this priest, I'm going to let him continue to go on in the priesthood. So that was 5 years ago, and the priest came out this same time, this year, saying, it is true, I was abusing kids 5 years ago plus more. So that cardinal in New York, I'm sorry if he is a Catholic priest, it just can't hide the fact about cover-up. You know, the Catholic Church has been around a long time, I know it has. But when you're guilty of cover-up, no matter what it is, organized crime, Catholicism, or U.S. government or world politics, the point is, when you do cover-up, that means there's some sort of bad mistake, or in this case, sin, that are being covered up that the American public doesn't know about, and that's bad. How are we supposed to listen to these pastors, priests, and fathers and say, hey, help me in my time of need, when they are off on our donation helping themselves, the sexual appetite with little kids and girls and boys. So you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to practice that, that's all right, but it's a very tough issue. This is like the second toughest issue I have to talk about after September 11th. So think about it, people. Cover up. Richard Nixon is guilty of it. JFK is guilty of it. Harry Truman, Roosevelt, everybody's guilty of it. So the Catholic community is having a hard time, and I'm having a hard time trying to deal with it because I've been into Catholic churches before, so that gets very tough. But when you're lying and covering it up, that's bad. That's a sin in itself. Okay. In Russia, a remote-controlled mine, meaning a bomb went off, killing 42 people. Russian government says it's a terrorist act. So we're not the only country in the whole world that has issues with terrorism. So far, we're one of the only few countries controlling our military resources on fighting terrorism, including Britain, France, and Australia. But Russia is not, they're in the fight, but they have their own issues at home. 42 dead killed in a remote-controlled mine in Russia. That's bad, that's very bad. Okay, then also in the Middle East, progress towards peace is coming to a standstill, but some people say there might be hope because the Israeli government and the army pulled out of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, meaning that as of yesterday, there hasn't been any casualties or any bad violence toward each group. But the Palestinians, or the AKA terrorist people as they're called, say even though they postponed the military offensive going back into the villages, they say when you pull out doesn't mean a cancellation. So you know the Palestinian people are going to be very hectic after this time. And a couple days ago, and a week ago, and 2 weeks ago, I was on Speedway and I saw a group of people protesting at the corner of Euclid and Speedway and in downtown, I believe. But I honked my horn when I drove by. It was like, and Israeli occupation, that's what I'm all about. We have to stop it somewhere. We have to stop it somewhere. Okay, that's enough about that. Okay, back on the home front, Bill Clinton will not have his own talk show. We don't need that. We don't need a talk show about interns. Okay, on the doper side of news, the former pal of Tommy Chong, Chief Marin, he's 55 years old now, and he's a Nash Bridges sidekick. And I'm sorry, I saw that show when Jasmine Bleed was on there, and the show still sucked. Even though it's still in San Francisco, it still sucked. Oh, Chief Marin made a bad career move. But anyway, I don't care about him anymore. But the point is that he lent 52 of his Chicano art paintings to the Smithsonian. So that just goes to show, if you're a stoner later on in life, you get artistic credibility. Just ask any Hollywood person. He's one of them. Okay, I got a very rare international news tidbit. It's about a guy, a Slovak man, if I'm pronouncing it right, or Slavic. They spell it wrong. It used to be S-L-A-V-I-C, but now it's S-L-O-V-A-K. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But the point is, a man owed $542 in taxes to this foreign European government. He was a Slavic man. He went up to the tax accounting services of the government agency in the capital city of the country. And guess what he did, people? He chopped off his own head in front of all the passerby. Just because he owed $542 in European money. That is a bad reason. And on top of that, he wasn't successful in cutting off his head. What happened, he drove up to the window of the tax agency office, jumped out of the car, and then he had this homemade head slicing thing, like from the medieval ages. And he put his head in there, and what happened, only chopped off half his head, his neck. So he get bled to death in front of all these people, all these bankers and executive types. They can say in the middle of rush hour traffic, this guy comes out and chop off his own head. And it's not even rolling down the street. That would be cooler if it was rolling down the street. Wouldn't that be cool to have it rolling down the street? But it didn't happen. But that just goes to show there's some stupid people out there, and I'm not one of them, and neither are you. Okay, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a man put a personal ad in the paper saying, I'm athletic, blah, blah, I'm a good person, blah, blah, honest. But what he failed to tell the people in the public about the newspaper ad is that he killed 2 ex-girlfriends. So I know it's kind of lame, but I want to skip over that little tidbit. Okay, then something really weird happened last week. We all know who George W. Bush is. He made a very rare appearance, and he talked to for several minutes. Guess who? Ozzy Osbourne. Is this what American politics is all about? First it started with Dave Mustaine reporting for MTV for the Democratic National Convention, and now it works its way up to 2002, 10 years later, and we have the president basically hanging out with Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, in Japan, as of June 2nd, hallucinogenic mushrooms are banned and considered unlawful. It took them a long time to realize that. We should have been living in Japan. Also in Japan, on a lighter note, a engine maintenance guy at the Tokyo International Airport saw something wrong with one of the engines flying off the runway, a Boeing 767, And witnesses said that this guy, the maintenance guy, ran after the huge plane, and he jumped into one of the engines and got diced in a matter of seconds. And the Tokyo airport police call it a suicide. So if you're thinking about committing suicide, if you're gonna do it, people out there, be original. I knew someone who said if they're gonna kill themselves, they'll jump off a cliff into an alligator pit. And that was the coolest thing that they ever said to me, ever. So don't board the U.S. television audience with some boredom story about jumping off a building. Big deal. If you're gonna commit suicide, you might as well jump off a building onto like 109 and make sure you're like mauled to death by a bunch of Rottweilers and videotape it. If David Blaine can do it, and they say that he's crazy, well, we can do it too. But I won't be the participant, but we'll videotape it. And I'm talking about some guy with his initial GM, and it ain't General Motors, people. Alrighty. That's it. I'm gonna do a famous line from a famous talk show host, and it's gonna go, this kills the crazy show. Hola, once again, people, they call me Crazy Show here. Episode, I don't even know what episode I'm filming. So far as we know it, City Council, the city of Tucson, is planning to cut public access funding in half. So by the time you see this episode, we might be shut down. Hopefully not. Maybe they'll get slashed our budget in half. But the point is that all TV shows on public access will be affected, and as much how it is that will be affected, we don't know. But looks like we're all in danger. So hopefully the city council is going to have a meeting come this Monday in June. I know we're kind of behind, but they're having a city council meeting with the mayor to discuss something to do. There should be something that should be done about the situation at public access, because I get off on being the Dennis Miller wannabe public access for you viewers in Tucson. So I got a lot of catching up to do. The last show that we did was April. Right now it's June 8th, to tell the truth. Okay, here we go. Attack of the Clones. I've seen it 3 times already. Made $160 million. Great movie. For all you people who haven't seen it, see Spider-Man, but then see episode 2. Yoda fighting at the best scene in the movie. I know I might have said the main climax of the movie, but if you haven't seen episode 2, then I really don't know what to tell you. Okay, then the big news in Tucson lately was the fire by Mount Lemon. Summer Haven was in danger, and now it's all over. No one got hurt, but like 22,000 acres of forest land were burnt down. But thanks to all the firefighters who helped beat the fire, now we had no more fire in the mountain. And on the subject of the fire in the mountain, I saw, I was up real early one morning, I saw the sunrise when the fire season was up on the mountain of Mount Lemon, and the sun looked so weird. It was like a nuclear winter kind of thing, all bright red, and the ashes and smoke covering the sun, so you could see the sun coming in. But it was weird. It almost looked like an episode 2 scene. Alrighty. I know you're hearing the Ramones in the background. Here we are again. Dee Dee Ramone passed away due to the fact that he was partying with some things. But Dee Dee Ramone, he was the bass player for the Ramones, died. He died 2 days ago. Long live the Ramones and long live Dee Dee. And on the subject of the Ramones, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up in Cleveland. So, you know, it couldn't have been perfect timing for him. He lived enough to see that they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is fucking great because I am the original Ramon. That's my original name on my birth certificate, Ramon. But my real name now is Ray. Okay. Didi Ramon, sorry, but he passed away. Okay, I was reading something a couple days ago that really pisses me off. Remember when Timothy McVeigh was executed last June? It was a year ago that he was executed. He's the guy who blew up the Oklahoma City building, federal building. But get this, the family wants to have all his stuff that he had in prison back. Who does the family think they are? What about the people who died in the building blast that they didn't leave anything behind for their loved ones? But his father, Timothy McVeigh's father, wants the Bronze Star that Timothy McVeigh got during the Persian Gulf War. I say we could grab the Bronze Star and melt it into pennies. That'd be my idea. Okay, on a weird, sad note, in California, an 8-year-old boy at an elementary school was playing with a jump rope, and somehow he tied the jump rope around his neck and jumped off the monkey bars and accidentally hung himself. 3 of his classmates, all the ages of 8, went to the rescue, held his body up while he was still hanging, an 8-year-old boy, and they were able to take him back to the classroom where the teacher and the monitor did mouth-to-mouth CPR resuscitation. In Bangladesh, a farmer got into this dispute with some other farmers, and these farmers beat the farmer to death in Bangladesh, right? And so they beat him to death, and they thought he died. And what really happened that they beat him unconscious, and they buried him. And for 6 hours, this guy laid unconscious in his grave. And so what happened? One of the foot and the ankle were popping out of the grave by the makeshift grave. And these farmers passing by noticed that there was a foot popped out of the grave. So they went over to investigate, and they noticed it was moving, and they dug the man up, and he's still alive. But he was buried underground for 6 hours, and he still has his wounds. So Bangladesh people, that's crazy. Okay, then my favorite NBA team, Los Angeles Lakers, has won Game 2 against the New Jersey Nets. Go Lakers! Kobe, Shaq, Horry, all the guys, they rock. They've been my favorite team since the days of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson were on the team, and Riley was the coach. Those were the days. On the subject of sports, Tyson and Lewis right now is fighting as we speak. I'll find out in 10 minutes who won the fight, and I'll let you know. Okay, in Tucson hip-hop culture, we have P. Diddy and Ja Rule playing next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday as a matter of fact, at a TCC, and that's pretty cool that they have that big kind of talent coming to Tucson. Hopefully they'll keep that up, because I saw Snoop Dogg a while back, last summer, at TCC, and that was a good concert. But yeah, they should bring some more hip-hop concerts, so hopefully P. Diddy and Ja Rule make good enough attraction to bring some more. On the subject of stars and celebrities, Winona Ryder has to face trial now for stealing $4,000 worth of clothing from the very fancy Beverly Hills store. And you know, normally I wouldn't talk about her, but the point is I want to talk about why was someone who's been Oscar nominated, considered one of the best actresses of her generation, be taking items from a store when she can damn well pay for it. You know, that she might be sick in the head. They found prescription pills on her. Or, I'm sorry, it wasn't prescription. They will get pills that she didn't have no prescription. So she's all fucked up. And then on top of that, there was a riot when she went to court, and she supposedly broke an elbow and got a black eye. I really wouldn't want to show you the picture. But yeah, fuck Winona Ryder. I'll never see a movie again. Maybe Beetlejuice when I'm 54 years old. Okay, and then sad note. Before September 11th, the big story was Gary Condit, the Chandra Levy missing person disappearance case. But now we know they found her remains at a park in Washington, D.C. And so they're saying Gary Condit is not responsible for the disappearance. It looked like it might have been the work of a sexual offender. But you know what? To get back to Gary Condit, you know, it doesn't give him the juice to act the way he acted. Remember, he had an affair with Chandra Levy, did all that crazy, powerful men of Washington, politicians do, having an affair with an intern. But it doesn't make it right for him to say, well, I won't answer any questions, blah, blah. If he knew he didn't do anything wrong, which he didn't, why didn't he answer the question truthfully back last summer? And you know what? Now he don't have a career no more. So good for him. I hope he rots in hell. Okay, then, okay, we all know how much money cigarette companies make when they're selling cigarettes. They go in the hundreds and hundreds of millions. 100 billion, they go in a billion. It's a worldwide profit thing for them. Okay, R.J. Reynolds is one of the biggest tobacco cigarette makers. They said in 1998 that they wouldn't be targeting cigarette ads to children. But as of last year, R.J. Reynolds had an advertisement, full-page advertisement. And get this, Rolling Stone. Kids read that. And then here out of Sports Illustrated to like back down, but both sides won't back down. And worst case scenario, if one of them does use a nuclear warhead on each, well, fuck. Alrighty. And you know, they don't care. They don't care if they have nuclear weapons. It's like the two countries are side by side, and it's like, well, we're gonna throw one at you, and then well, we'll throw one at you too. They don't realize that once those nuclear warheads go off, it affects the whole world. We have nuclear pollution, nuclear winter. You know, you're gonna have fucking three-headed, four-eyed fishes being eaten by fucking 8-fingered men. You know, we're all gonna be mutated. You know, maybe X-Men is hitting the idea right in the head. Wouldn't that be great after India-Pakistan nuclear war? We all start turning to X-Men. That'd be cool. That'd be great. And okay, I'm gonna go out on a somber note. May 19th, the federal government said that Al-Qaeda chatter is growing, like the day leading up to September 11th. Okay, if the government knows about Al-Qaeda chatter, it's growing up, is getting bigger and bigger after the fact of September 11th, how come these fucks couldn't figure out the Al-Qaeda chatter before, right? If they know about Al-Qaeda chatter now, oh, we have intelligence, blah, blah, we know what's going on. Why did they not know what was going on in the days leading up to September 11th? In Phoenix, there was an FBI agent saying he sent some superiors in the FBI saying, hey, there's these foreigners flying these airplanes, and I think they have a terrorist tie. But no, the FBI has so many levels of bureaucracy. By the time the top guy heard it, it was already September 11th. So fuck them all. They don't give a fuck about anything. They're always quick to put the blame on other people. So that's that. Okay, then 2 days later, May 21st, the FBI director and the vice president of the United States of America said that U.S. suicide bombs are inevitable in the country of the U.S. It means they're basically saying it's going to happen. We should be prepared. We'll be fooling ourselves to think that it ain't going to happen. Well, government, I've been trying to tell you that for the past 4 years. So, I did a prediction back in '98, and I'll say it again. We weren't surprised when September 11th happened, because it was bound to happen with these fuck who want to hit us so hard that they did. So all I gotta say, fuck the FBI. These are the same people who did the Waco and the Ruby Ridge thing. They're always quick to put blame on the other, and they have so many levels of bureaucracy that it doesn't work. And we know for a fact it doesn't work because September 11th happened. Okay, I'm out of here, people. I gotta go party. So, I'll see you Monday. Bye! Call this number, 791-4700. Hotline number, public access. Even if we don't have the TV show by then, call them up anyway. Cuss them out. Tell them that you're gonna send them a cow turd in the FedEx box. And no, people, we don't want no white powder. Call me crazy show. Hola. Okay, people, I read the Tucson Citizen and Arizona Daily Star every day, along with the Tucson Weekly, Entertainment Weekly, Premier Magazine, Newsweek, Time Magazine, whatever I can get my hands on. And I should be an editor. But I read these reviews by this certain guy named Chuck Graham, who does the reviews for the Tucson Citizen for the movie. And he's like a fucking idiot. That's what he is. Because every movie he watches is either a C or a D or whatever the fuck. And then he gives A's to the movies that don't deserve A's. Oh, but yeah, he's really quick to point out, everybody's real lame. Oh, this movie sucked. This other movie's better. Homeboy should give up a job. All Chuck Graham is, he is a failed movie director. That's why he's working with a lame ass pullout from the evening paper. Okay, but get this. This is his review for episode 2, Attack of the Clones by Chuck Graham. Star Wars episode 3. The dumb motherfucker put Star Wars episode 3, Attack of the Clones. Not only does he give him a shitty review, he don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Look, Star Wars episode 3, Attack of the Clones, only one more episode to go. Only one more episode to go. Chuck Graham's grade, C+. Anakin Hayden Christensen is a bratty teen American style. What? We're not asking for no goddamn social commentary on episode 2. Queen Amidala, Natalie Portman, has stepped down from royalty to serve as a senator. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor, is acting more like Alec Guinness. I think you might have been drinking Guinness, Chuck Graham. But the point is, you're a dumb fuck because you don't know what movie you're talking about. Star Wars Episode 3. And I know the Tucson Citizen folk doing the printing, they don't know what they're doing. They can do what they gotta do. They don't keep an eye out on that. So that's the last time I'm ever gonna think about Chuck Graham. And on top of Chuck Graham, I hate the reviewer from the Tucson Weekly too. They should have Chuck Graham and that Dio Giovanni guy. They should put them together and say, hey, this is the real Ebert and Roper, ghetto style. Yeah, they wouldn't like any movie. Get put them together. But all I gotta say, Chuck Graham, he don't know what the hell he's writing. Look at that, people. I know all you diehard fans from Star Wars are possibly having cardiac arrest, I hope. Because I know I did when I saw this. He's like, only one more episode to go. What a dumb idiot. Oh, I hate him. I'm out. Bye.
wonderful people. Here we are once again, the Call Me Crazy Show. What you just saw earlier was me talking about Chuck Graham. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I say that? I guess I can. But the point I wanted to make about Chuck Graham, and I'm not talking about Billy Graham, is that he should be related to Billy Graham. Hola people, the Call Me Crazy Show, here we are once again. I'm very glad that you can tune in, and we're very glad to tell you the truth, because as of last week, word came down from elected officials of Tucson saying they were going to cut public access funding by half, but it turns out that that didn't happen, so that's good news, and they only got slashed for public access funding budget 10%, so it doesn't really matter. It kind of does, but it can trim the edges. So the point is that we're still on the air, folks. You're gonna see our shows once, twice, and many times again, hopefully. But I'd like to thank the viewers of TCCC, and I want to thank TCCC for doing such a good job of staying afloat. Okay, I wanted to talk about federal government news first. Is that I talked about it a segment ago. Is that the FBI director and the vice president of the United States says that U.S. suicide bombs are inevitable. Okay, so remember I said that. Okay, so now we're jumping back. Now we're going forward to June 15th, and word came down again that a bomb blew up in front of the U.S. consulate office in Pakistan, killing 12 people. So the point is, if the terrorists, they're coming in and they're going to blow up buildings like that in other countries, and they're going to get better at it, and then they're going to come back with us, just what Dick Cheney and the FBI director said. So I do want to point that out, that we all have to brace ourselves for something like that. And if the vice president is saying, you know, there's going to be more of them, we have to take it for the truth. So that might be what Dick Cheney's best advice to the country has been that so far. Other than that, I don't like the guy. He's crooked, and as far as I'm concerned, he's as guilty as the Enron official. Okay. India and Pakistan are still going at it. They have almost 1 million troops on each side of the border, and the tension is now coming down a bit. But a week and a half ago, pretty intense, because one was saying very bad things about the other and so forth, and you know they wanted the international community to come in and mediate, you know, the U.S., Russia, to mediate between India and Pakistan, because for a while there, they were on the brink of a nuclear war. You know, I saw some pictures of kids, I'm not sure what country, kids holding up a fake missile. You know, that's late-breaking information coming in. Okay, fire Dick Cheney and get a vice president that can guarantee safety. Too bad the White House don't have country town meetings like the city council does. But you know what? You're right. You know, if Dick Cheney does know if U.S. suicide bombs are going to go off, shouldn't he be trying to prevent it? I didn't even think about that. Point. No shit, I didn't even think about that. I'll get back to that in a minute, but yeah, I never liked Dick Cheney anyway. He's the only connection between the new Bush administration and the old Bush administration from 88 to 92. So it's basically the same goddamn administration from 88 to 92. It gets George Bush Sr. is running the show behind closed doors. You know, so I don't want to talk about George Bush. Okay. On a weirder note, in the country news, in Colorado, we have this huge ass fire fucking things up. It's near Denver, not in Denver, but near Denver. And so far, 103,000 acres has been scorched down to the ground, barren and black. And at first, where it turns out there was a fire technician who who said that she smelled smoke at her where her entry was in the park. She was working in the park, and I guess she was on the lookout for fire. But she said that she smelled smoke from a certain area and went to investigate, and that's how the fire started. It was 103,000 acres. That was a week ago. Okay, as of today, that same fire technician was arrested, booked into federal custody. After federal investigators went to find out who caused the fire, turns out the fire technician lady was lying all the time because apparently you're not able to smell smoke at the point where she's at, saying that she smelled smoke. So the investigators thought there was something fishy. So they find out that the fire technician lady is the one who set the goddamn fire herself. The ranger for the park. And you know why she started the fire? Because she said that she was reading a letter from her former fucked up husband, right? And she got mad, she said, and so she grabbed the letter. Right, and she's a fire technician in like Colorado, and like, oh, I'm supposed to be taking care of the forest. But no, she's reading her fucked up letter from her estranged husband. And guess what she does? She lights it on fire. She said she was trying to burn the letter, and the letter burnt on fire, got caught on some leaves, and that's how 103,000 acre fire is burning. All because some fucked up lady, I mean, not even doing her job and not doing the correct job description, you know. Why was she reading her fucked up letter on the job in the forest anyways? So that sounds like to me, you should be doing another job that's more suitable to that, reading letters or whatever. But yeah, she started the fire, so she's facing up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Enough of that. Okay, people, we all know about the Catholic scandal. There was a bishop conference in Dallas a couple days ago. It's now adjourned, and now what the new direction is going to be for the Catholic Church to go in after an elder or a minister or priest abuses kids. What they're going to do is they're going to hold the bishop accountable. Basically, laying all the fault and blame on the bishops, you know. And there's several bishops, there's one bishop per town. So they're going to be in charge of all that. And so basically they're saying if we know about something, they're immediately getting taken out, you know. They'll cover up, I say it's going to take years before they even implement all that. You know, it's a big organization, you know, just like anything else, Home Depot. I'm not trying to say religion is like Home Depot or whatever, but in terms of how on a big scale it affects everybody, you know, you got, you know, your higher ups, you know, when the Pope gets when the current Pope John Paul, when he's too tired to go on, his administration leaves also. Basically, the new administration comes in. So those people are trying to, they hold up John Paul, and you know, they want him to keep on going because they don't want to lose his seat. But he's been there 20 years, and he even addressed the issue of the sex scandals in the church. And you know, it gets too bad that it all comes down to this, that in a time when unity is supposed to be nurtured in this country, it's being fallen apart by these fucked up priests. And I'm not saying they're all messed up. I'm just saying there's a couple fucked up bad apples in there. And you know, if I ever did find one who did that, I'd be like, you know, I'd tell the whole world. Enough of that. Okay, it was 30 years ago this month, Watergate happened. Okay, for all you people who are too young, Watergate was the famous, or the most famous scandal of any presidency. Basically, he knew about a break-in that happened at this hotel in Washington. He sent these people in to break in, and they broke in and tried to steal some tapes, and they all got caught, and they all pointed the finger at Nixon. And they said, don't arrest us, take him. You know, he's the one who told us all to go in there. And that's a long, boring story, but the point is, it's part of American history. And now, 30 years later, Richard Nixon is still the most vice president in my book. And what happened 2 years later after 1972, when the Watergate scandal broke open, 2 years later, in August, Richard Nixon resigned. And that's where he did a famous fucked up speech where he's like, I'm not a crook. You know? He fired Dick Cheney. It's the same goddamn Dick. Richard Nixon was Dick. I forgot. Richard Nixon, I hope he rolls over in his grave. You know, his family like, oh, don't be talking about Richard Nixon. Why not? He talked about us. So for Richard Nixon, and but he said, I am not a crook, and made Dick rotten hell. Alrighty. In Chicago, that's where Rob to the E2 is on his current leg of his U.S. tour. In Chicago, a gang member who was a hardcore gang member in the street gangs of Chicago apparently got turned over to the dark side, and I'm saying the dark side of an extremist Islamic view. And apparently he hooked it with some Al-Qaeda guy in Chicago, and basically he planned to bomb a little piece of Chicago, I guess, or some shit like that. But his name is Jose Padilla. And you know, how can Jose Padilla be Al-Qaeda? So, you know, that's even scarier, you know, an American joining the enemy. You know, we should get, like, do a survey, like, go back to the census, and like, would you ever join a terror group? And if you put down yes, then you're arrested. It ain't no minority report with this thing. It's racial profiling. Okay. So Watergate, fuck Richard Nixon, fuck Dick. All right, and fuck Al Qaeda. Okay, on a good note, Charlie Sheen and Denise Richards got married, and she is fucking hot. I loved her in James Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough. I loved her in, believe it or not, she's in the movie National Lampoon Loaded Weapon. She's in that. And she's also in one of my favorite movies, Wild Things. But she fucking rocks. But Charlie Sheen, you know, married her, and the word around town is that there were 400 hookers there. So that was that. Okay, J-Lo broke up with her current husband, number 2, after not even 3 months of marriage. And you know, all I gotta say, J-Ho, not J-Lo, J-Ho. Oh, from what I understand is that she still has feelings for P. Diddy. You know, so I don't know. She gets hot, but she's a hoe, but she's hot. Okay, in Colorado, or Utah now, on a very sad note, a 14-year-old girl was abducted, kidnapped from her bedroom from a really nice house in a really nice suburb, and apparently the guy broke into the window and held her up at gunpoint and kidnapped a 14-year-old girl, and it's been more than 12 days. They can't find her anywhere. Apparently the little sister was in the room too when the older sister got abducted. And the guy with the gun, I guess, told the little girl, don't mention a single goddamn word, you know, or I'll kill you. You know, I don't even want to think about it like that. But somehow convinced her, don't say anything at all. And it wasn't until almost 3 hours later that the little girl finally got the courage to go to her parents' room and tell her what happened. By that time, the trail was already 3 hours old. He could have been long gone, you know, get in the car, you know, 3 hours don't take a lot, you can put a lot of distance. So it's been 12 days, and the parents are doing pleas on the TV, you know, bring her back, release her. And you know, some fucked up university professor, you know, goddamn pop culture media bullshit, he labeled this case, this is what he's saying, the Utah version of the John Bonet mystery. You know, what if somebody abducted him? You know, fucking professor. Alrighty, it's boring, I know what's that. Okay, Winona Ryder pled not guilty to shoplifting charges in Beverly Hills. And you know, there was a little mini riot that happened when she like injured her elbow. She's facing up to 3 years in prison. I guess she's been shoplifting before, and they found the prescription drug Xanax on her. You know, I hope she fucking gets it because, you know, she got caught on videotape cutting the electronic tags off of the clothes in a very, very fancy store in Beverly Hills, and she went on rider, you know. There's something wrong, you know, something wrong. I don't know who's worse, her or Robert Downey Jr. They should make a movie together, that's what they should do.
1969.
Oh, I guess they made a movie. Hey! That's just, what do you call it? A degree of separation. And also, Kiefer Sutherland was in that. But fuck Winona Ryder, and I know some of you have. Okay, in Greece, a woman was talking on a cell phone, in the country of Greece, was talking on her cell phone on the public buses, when she got down and realized that she left her 4-month-old baby on the fucking bus. You know, I've seen the Friends episode where Joey and Chandler goes on the bus and they forget the baby on the bus. That's okay, that's TV, they're stupid. But in real life, you can't forget your 4-month-old baby in the back of the bus while you're talking on the cell phone, get down off the bus and continue on the cell phone, and then when the bus takes off you realize that the baby's in the back. You know, I hope they take her baby away because she's doing that when the baby's 4 months old. Imagine how the mom is going to be when the kid's a teenager living in America if they ever come to America. But that gets crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, all you internet users out there, and I'm one of them, is in China there was a late night internet cafe that got caught on fire, and the owner of the internet cafe, I guess didn't use proper paperwork to be open. He was never licensed, and he was running that cafe, you know, with drinks and all that. Internet cafe, late hours, and apparently he had wrought iron windows and doors, and a fire broke out, killing 24 internet users. They all inhaled themselves to death. Smoke inhalation, then they burned. All because of fucked up internet cafe owner. But they arrested him. So let's see if they execute him. But really, you know, why is there wrought iron windows and doors at our internet cafe? Ain't that public space? Gotta get out of that place. No offense to the Chinese, but China's a fucked up place. Alrighty, I mean, I'm talking about their government. The communist government. Okay. In India, West Bengal, India, green and yellow rain was reported coming down. Can you believe that, people? You know, we're in 2002 and now rain that's yellow and green. What is it, the goddamn fucking, what do you call that red candy that you pop it open in the ocean? Skittles. You know, is that what it is? It's the Skittles commercial come to life. And apparently all these villages where the water was coming down, green and yellow rain, they freaked out and thought it was the end of the world. And maybe, who knows, it might be the end of the world. It gets started a little early. But imagine that, you know, I'm waiting for the day when rain is coming down and it gets blood red. That would be something to see, wouldn't it, people? Okay, I know, I'm being a little apocalyptic. But on the subject of apocalypse, Ebola broke out again in Africa. That's the second time in a year. Apparently a village was caught eating a dead monkey that was infected with the Ebola. When are you guys going to learn? The last time I read about the Ebola incident, you guys were eating dead rats. Now dead monkeys. Oh, dead rat, Ebola. All right, let's eat a dead monkey. Alrighty. Scooby-Doo is finally out. I haven't seen the movie, but I guess there's some in-stoner jokes in the movie. Of course, the movie came, the Scooby-Doo came out in 1969. And I don't know, I might just see it just for the hell of it and say, yeah, I saw Scooby-Doo. I've been seeing every movie this summer anyway, so I might as well just be cool and say, yeah, I saw that. And I want to be able to see Minority Report. First time Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg have been together on a project, getting a lot of good reviews. And you know, I'm a big fan of both. So, you know, hopefully it should be like a cross version of AI and Mission Impossible. Okay. And then Ben Affleck is playing Daredevil, you comic readers out there. For all you Jay and Silent Bob fucks out there. He's playing Daredevil, the blind superhero Ben Affleck. And then the woman, Jennifer Gardner, who plays Alias on ABC's Alias show, the Daya, is playing Elektra. So that should be really interesting to see. So now we're looking forward to that. That comes out February 2003. And then Incredible Hulk with Jennifer Connelly, 2003 June. Okay, and I have two more things to talk about. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, yeah, she's hot. Catherine Zeta-Jones is now the new spokesperson for Verizon. Jamie Lee Curtis got the boot. She's out of there. The only good movies I ever think she's ever been in is the first Halloween and 2. And she's coming out in Halloween 8. I forgot to talk about that. But I guess she's too busy making another flop. Jamie Lee Curtis too busy making another flop because she's making Halloween 8. But anyways, her best movies have been Halloween 1 and 2 and the dancing scene in True Life. Like that. But Catherine Zeta-Jones is a lot hotter than Jamie Lee Curtis, and the new name of Verizon is going to be called T-Mobile International. You know, so that gets great. You know, she was great in Traffic, and she was great in the Haunting, and she was great in Zorro. That's where I liked her best, Zorro. For you people who don't know Catherine Zeta-Jones, check that movie out. She's hot in that, especially the dancing scene. And the last fucked up note, I love the Rolling Stones. I love classic rock, I love electronic, I love hip hop, I love reggae, I love everything. You know, and in England, they have this thing where the Queen will bestow upon you a knighthood. Like Anthony Hopkins is now Sir Anthony Hopkins, Paul McCartney is now Sir Paul McCartney, now John, you know, they got chosen to be a part of that special group because they do a lot of charity work, not including the musical work they put out, but they do a lot of charity work, and especially Paul McCartney. You know, he's done a lot. You know, his great wife, remember her, Linda. She was a former U of A alumni. But Paul McCartney is one of the few people who's made a difference. You know, so the Queen gave him a knighthood. So this weekend, Mick Jagger is now Sir Mick Jagger, and a lot of people in England are mad because Mick Jagger don't do no charity work. That guy is so stingy from the Rolling Stones, he moved to France so he doesn't have to pay British sales tax. What a cheap fuck. He has 9 different women, 9 different kids with like 4 different women, you know, and he says that none of the unions with the other women are valid. What the fuck? You know, give it to someone in America who deserves it, like Chris Rock. Who else deserves it? Fucking Regis, David Letterman, Kobe, the Lakers. Make the world champion Lakers in 2 nights. That'd be great. And they won again, 3-peat, and they're coming back next year. And I'm out of here. I gotta go, people. We're off filming a movie, but we're doing a movie called Los Marihuanos. Hopefully it'll be out Christmas 2002. Can't tell you too much about it, but shooting has already begun. We're in production, and I have a bit part in the movie, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm out of here. Call me crazy. Love you guys. Be cool. Stay in school. I'm just playing.
By me.
been the Call Me Crazy show. I'm very glad that you've been able to watch the whole show. Unfortunately, this is the end of this episode for the Call Me Crazy show. But what you guys saw right now is a quote from a woman called Janelle Byron. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to say this. Janelle Bryant. How about that? Janelle Bryant. I didn't know who Osama bin Laden was. He could have been a character on Star Wars for all I knew. And this is Janelle Bryant from the Department of Agriculture saying, telling an investigator after she met Mohammed Atta, one of the September 11th hijackers. Apparently back in May 2000, he went in to ask for a federal loan, and the Department of Agriculture official Janelle Byron, Bryant, she's a federal worker, one of the hijackers. A year before he does what he does, goes into a federal government agency and praises Osama bin Laden and said the Al-Qaeda leader will rule one day. And then also talking about praise to Osama bin Laden. And this woman, the federal worker, thinks Osama bin Laden is some fucking fucked up dude from Tatooine in a fucked up Tatooine sand people outfit. You know, for all she could have known, she could have said, oh, I thought Osama bin Laden was a goddamn Tusken Raider. What the hell? They live in the caves, they're in the mountains. What the fucking hell? Oh, I'm a federal worker. Oh, I seen Star Wars. Oh, I know who Osama bin Laden was. He's the guy with those big old elephant guns in the fucking New Hope movie. Yeah, I know who he is. And here I am, a fucking low-class public access talk show host slash songwriter, and I know more about the situation concerning international security, and I'm not even a federal worker. You're paying a federal worker some $80,000 a year, and she thinks Osama bin Laden is some fucking Tusken Raider guy. She's all sand people, they live in caves, they're ugly, they cover their face, they're Taliban, you never see the Tusken Raider. You know, she's all... He could have been a character for all I knew. Great going, lady, with your fucking dumb ass. You let one of the hijackers go when you could have alerted international security people knowing that we have someone who's a really bad person in our midst, who's up to no good. But no. I had enough. I am fed up. But that doesn't mean I'm going to join the militia. So I'm out of here. I said too much. But fuck Osama bin Laden, and fuck that Department of Agriculture official, Janelle Bryant. God damn her. I didn't know who Osama bin Laden was. Back in 1998, I knew who Osama bin Laden was. Back in 1993, when the World Trade Center first bombing went off, I knew who Osama bin Laden was. I knew the pictures from him. I could have been a spy for all you people out there could have known. And yet you have a fucking federal worker who doesn't know shit from Shinola, and here she is saying, oh, it's a goddamn Star Wars character. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the Middle Eastern guy praising Star Wars leader. Really, really good, people. I'm fucking out of here. I hate the Department of Agriculture, you fucks. You ruined it for all you people. I'm out of here, bye.